With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves once again of our top three. The engineer, Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. The engineer lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc, Norris, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, and Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo and Magnussen, Albon, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Guan Yu Zhou, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
This is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today. Yeah, that was a strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. The engineer increases their championship lead. Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Another team that excelled today were Williams, who make further progress up the table. The grid is set then, so that... Welcome once again to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The clue's in the name. This is very much Ferrari home turf, and the locals will be out in force today to support their team in what we hope will be a magnificent spectacle of motorsport. On then to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. The engineer lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, George Russell and Leclerc, Norris, Bottas, Mick Schumacher and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda and Gasly, Magnussen, Joe, Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. Latifi and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
OK, now that we've got some good points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish. down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. Verstappen. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
And that's it then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Today's performance means that Max Verstappen now owns top spot in the Drivers' Championship. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.